So y'all remember when Kerry Washington was outside? It's country and you look country in it. How you get your legs to bend like that outside? I definitely do. In the midst of that time, she also starred in an independent film by the name of Lift. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Lift. Now this movie is from 2001 and it stars Kerry Washington. Now before we get into all things stealing everything that's not nailed down to the floor, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that. Then we're going to come back and discuss. You in the back, boosting, stealing stuff out the store and selling it on Instagram like you bought it cash money. This one is for you.
Go back.
Now that you guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me, let's get into this movie. But before we jump into the video, I have to give a shout out to the person who paid for and requested this movie. So if you happen to beg, borrow, or steal, it's not because of me, it's because of this person right here. Thank you so much for supporting me and paying for this content. Now this movie was directed and written by Damani Davis and Carrie Streeter. They worked together previously on an independent project, but Damani Davis, like a lot of other Black independent film directors, your Julie Dash, Theodore Witcher, Christopher Scott, only went on to give us that one great film and later on stuck to the writing and producing sides on projects such as Self-Made, Queen Sugar, and How to Get Away with Murder. Now if you were not tuned into BET in the early 2000s in the movies that they were producing and showing, you would have missed this film, right along with independent Black films such as Blue Hill Avenue, Masquerade, Funny Valentine, Rhapsody, and Commitment. Now a lot of these movies starred some of our most beloved Black actors and were created by Black folks. But a lot of these movies were forgotten. Like Lift, I could barely find any info, any pictures, anything on Lift. When this is probably one of my favorite roles from Kerry Washington. Not saying that I don't love the progress and the evolution of her career from Django to being Olivia Pope. But our song, Ray, Save the Last Dance, I Think I Love My Wife, pre-scandal Kerry was a freaking vibe. This role in this movie is definitely up there. And this just so happens to be the first time that she got to carry and lead a film all by herself. Now paying attention at the beginning of this film is key. We start off with Sticky Fingers doing what he does best, having Sticky Fingers boosting with his crew from your local department store, even due to the dismay of white boy Dent, who can't seem to stay awake on the job and is getting on everybody's last nerve. Now, not only is this robbery delayed and not going smoothly, but we are almost caught red-handed and arrested. There is absolutely no finesse in what they are doing, which brings us to Denise, aka Niecy. This could never be her in her mind. Now, in a very early stage of pregnancy that she has yet to tell her boyfriend about, Niecy does the exact same thing. Boosting, stealing, and selling for profit, but it's done in a completely different way. It's truly an art form for her, and it's done with so much subtlety and skill to the point that she goes completely unnoticed. working in this upscale department store where she would love to move up, be seen, be recognized, and be praised for her work. However, she continues to go unnoticed as one of the few black faces in this department store. Meanwhile, management is often rude and dismissive of her. And the one other person who may be our color, Pam, just happens to hate our stinking guts because we are from the same neighborhood. She knows all of what Niecy is about and hates the fact that Niecy is praised for her impeccable taste in fashion. Very much so. Girl, you ain't no better than me. I know exactly who you are and what you are about. Niecy has a lot of potential and room to grow there and possibly move up. But we decide to take our knowledge of these impeccable designers, clothes, shoes, jewelry, knowing catalogs from front to back, to steal things. So good that she wears Seth's designer while she is stealing it. Anything you want, need, and desire is a stolen credit card swipe away. I can't receive any accolades or praise for my work at work, but I am everything to everybody in my profession on the streets. This is where I have the most control. This is where I am somebody, unlike in the space where I work. I really enjoyed the writing in this movie and how much depth this movie really has when the plot is just so simplistic, but it's way more than just stealing because I'm good at it. So much of it is about a lack of ownership, wanting to need, own, be somebody, wanting control, desiring a purpose. Niecy honestly feels like her strongest purpose at this moment is to steal. Is stealing wrong? Absolutely. But at work, I'm nobody. Here right now in this barbershop holding these products, I am the boss. I say when, where, who, and how much. I also really enjoyed the fact that we get into the art form of Niecy stealing to this classical backdrop. We don't just have her running around, swiping cards, shoving things into her shirt to conceal them. We have her floating, gliding, literally skating through these stores to this classical backdrop of music, as to say that this is art. This is, scene 1 of Act 2. This is nothing more than a performance, a mirage to distract you from my true motive. I'm literally floating through this store. Not only does this show us just how good she is at going undetected, but it also shows us just how cocky she is. She has gone unnoticed for so long that she low-key feels like she is above the law, and this is not really all that serious. Just effortlessly flowing through things like materialism, capitalism, class, and wealth. I love when we have ladies in the barbershop just clamoring, people constantly clamoring at Niecy, messages being left on her phone for things that people probably couldn't afford otherwise if she wasn't stealing them and giving them a discount. But I'm gonna go above and beyond, probably spend money that I don't have on something just because there's a label on it and it displays that even though I may be living in the hood, even though I probably can't afford these things, even though I'm probably not going to pay my rent to buy this top, these labels on me state that you could never. Once again, getting into that narrative of wanting to be and feel like somebody, feeling disenfranchised and just wanting to feel important. Yeah, I might be standing in the middle of the projects, but I'm wearing Chanel. You could never. Now, as I stated before, Niecy has hella potential in this department store. So much so that it can't go unnoticed by a higher up who is willing to offer her a job doing display windows and hiring in New York City. But we can't walk away from stealing, not just because we love it, not for the money, but because the person who clamors and needs us to steal the most is our own mother. Lynette McKee here, aka Sister, aka Give a Little Shoulder and Take It Right Back, is here as that hungry hippo of a mother. She is never satisfied with anything and is using her own daughter as if she is Amazon. The epitome of wanting to be perceived a certain way and always needing the unattainable, using these labels, these material things to feel whole instead of dealing with her own family problems and issues. Rather than praise her daughter for what she's doing in the department store, she would much rather know if she has stolen the latest thing that she is asking her for. Physical abuse from her father growing up, a lack of a father in the household because he left, and not feeling all that protected by her own mother has left Elaine very cold, very bitter, and very detached from her own daughter. Niecy, however, has been trying to please, fix, and satisfy her mother's every desire through theft, hoping to receive love in return from a very distant mother who doesn't seem to notice her, much less want to spend time with her unless she is holding a designer bag. 500 DKNY suits and Donna Karan sweaters later, her mother now desires this very highly guarded, secure jewelry gold necklace for herself. Niecy will change her whole life around trying to get this for her. Steal this for her. Now, Niecy, who cannot obtain this necklace by herself, leads her down a road with Christian. Think early 2000s, P. Diddy, Cameron, Slamity, Bamity, Stewie Magoo, like early flashy, horse and carriage. He is connected to a group of underground thieves that can give her access to keys and things that she can't touch on her own. Only problem is, not only does he want her to work for him, but he just wants her in general. Now, Niecy's boyfriend, who just recently walked away from Christian's organization, couldn't be less happier about this. Not only do I not want you stealing anymore for your mother because it is ruining you and our relationship, but it's clear that he wants you. Now, of course, at this point, he still doesn't know that she is in her early stages of pregnancy, and he does have good intentions and seems to be a good boyfriend that she cares for and loves a lot, but he is also reactionary, toxic, jealous, a part-time stoner who doesn't really have any real direction. So not only am I not sure if I want to have a baby with you, am I even capable of being a good mother? Look who's been my mother for the entirety of my life. And lastly, you don't get to tell me what to do with Christian and the key he could possibly give me to get this jewelry necklace for my mother. But most of all, you don't get to tell me anything about my mother. She coddles her mother, protects her in the way that she doesn't do for her. She is thinking that she is building notches, stealing things, working to some point of satisfaction. Eventually, my mother is going to show up and be here for me the same way I show up for these things. I love via these lavish P. Diddy parties, aka all dressed up with all these labels and no place to go. You just really see this underbelly of what she is engulfed in. It's not only her mother. Every single person that's practically surrounding her is into boosting, stealing, getting something for nothing. Who cares? It's not that serious. Everybody is draped in designers that they didn't pay for, and everything is hot from top to bottom, absolutely draped in everything that you could dream of. But it also creates this sense of not only lavishness and false sense of riches, but also this fantasy world where everything is okay and we're wearing the latest and we're partying and we're drinking. Meanwhile, we are probably going home to nothing. However, in the meantime, I'm still that dude, I'm still that chick, I am still that girl who is the best booster around. Niecy gets so cocky to the point in the midst of her mirage of stealing, she is willing to drop in anti-theft sensory into a white woman's purse just because she can. I'm in control. I'm in charge. You already know what it is. We really get into generational things rolling over from the parents to the kids. My mother stole things. My mother bought stolen things. It's nothing for us to do it now. It is practically family tradition, to the point that Niecy is so comfortable. Not only are we not just stealing clothing and doing credit card scamming, but we are stealing things as simple as a steak from the store that we probably could easily pay for just because I can. I never get caught. Niecy walks around like Little Miss Untouchable, even though we constantly have police officers around, investigations going on around the neighborhood, around the department stores where she works, because they are constantly being hit up. Now, I won't harbor on it too long, but it does hold some significance in the story to me when we get into the grandmother's, Elaine's mother's birthday party. This part of her family, just family in general, that she keeps such a distance from, stemming from this abuse. You get to see how not only Elaine, but her sister gets to deal with it. The sister has internalized it completely differently. I am over it. I am done. We all got beat up. Just move on. You know, that person who wants to tell another person how to deal with their trauma. I'm strong. I got over it. Just forget about it. We all got beat up. It wasn't just you. Why do we have to walk around on eggshells for you? Why do we have to cuddle you? Girl, get your whole freaking life. Whereas we have Elaine, she is just so cold and just so broken as a person that she can barely be around her own family. Not just want to be around them, you know, stemming from the father, but you as my mother, I didn't feel like you protected me. But internalizing this, Elaine has not been protecting her own daughter and pushes her further to want to steal. Now, boyfriend Angelo, wanting to be that change and that inspiration for his girl to stop stealing altogether, turns over a new leaf, even though it's still a little jealous and a little stank. When she finally tells him that she is pregnant, he is ecstatic, but it is brought down immediately by her still pushing to obtain this necklace. Now, child, once we get to stealing and almost get caught, those scenes are the most intense in the movie. All of this high pumping adrenaline from us just, you know, previously seeing her multiple times float and glide through these stores with this classical music, but due to Dent, messed up the heist in the beginning of the movie and is casually messing up one now, just stepping in the middle of a disguise heist to say, hey, what's up, girl? Messes things up to the point that not only is the mirage up, but we are now almost caught and running for our lives. Boy, them running scenes, Carrie was gone. Carrie was up here, Chin was here, she was gone. Love the scenes. Getting away by the skin of our teeth, we live to fight another day, but due to Christian not feeling satisfied and heat coming down on the team, she not only doesn't get this necklace, but the heat comes down on her boyfriend as well. With the clique feeling some way about Dick from the previous robbery in the beginning of the film, and now feeling that he has ruined yet another one, desire to take him out and shoot him in broad daylight rockabye baby. Only problem is baby daddy Angelo just happens to be there as well and gets shot just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. We are now murdered. Now, I love how subtle this movie increases in tensions, whether we have Sticky Fingers showing up to her house unannounced and she has to act like she doesn't know about Angelo being murdered. And we also have him being sticky, trying to plant a necklace at her home in the process of trying to set her up, deflecting heat from the crew to her for this robbery. Even when we get into the funeral for Angelo, it is just quite magnificent how subtle we can take something as people being really delusional and this fantasy world not really being what it is. Do you guys even really care that he is dead? So when I cared about my boyfriend, your friend, your brother, my man, or are you just here to show off your latest fashions? Girl, it turned into a whole fashion show. We sat Shannon walking away, and at this funeral, I'm sweating, I'm hyperventilating, I have Christian in my ear telling me this is all I'm ever going to be able to be. None of this is real. Sadly, it takes this moment to wake her up back to reality and realize what she has and the potential of what she could possibly do beyond just boosting. This is real. People are losing their lives. Niecy getting her grip back on reality and finding, her standing with her grandmother, who is very supportive throughout the movie, realizes that she does have the potential to be a better mother than the one currently standing, staring at her in her face. She also finds this confidence to be seen and be heard. Recognize me, look at me, who I am, what I'm going through outside of what I have to give you that is materialistic. I'm going through something. I need you and you aren't here. We also get into the mother, Elaine, feeling some type of way. You made me lose my man. I was pregnant with you and he left me. Like, oh girl, that same old sad ass narrative. life of, oh, you made my man go away. She has, you know, been carrying this secret resentment, not only for her family and the abuse there, but also you made your father go away. Just downright trauma, making her incapable of being a real caring mother outside of the latest thing that she probably dressed her daughter in. But it's okay. That's never going to be me. I'm going to really focus and center on what happened to my boyfriend who has passed, be a better mother, and take that position in New York. I can do better than just boosting things out of a store. But what is that, Velvet? It is absolutely too late. Finally ready to wear the one thing that is probably not hot and boosted in her closet via her boyfriend Angelo buying her a suit, we try to go back into work positive for our position with a smile on our face, and the cops are waiting to arrest us via the robbery for the necklace she was trying to steal for her mother. Once again, Carrie was smoking. Carrie was gone. She was absolutely gone. This couldn't possibly be real, especially for me. I've finessed so much. I've done so much. I've never been caught. Never thought I would get caught. Like, she was freaking gone, running for her life, trying to just absolutely get away. Every single consequence for what she had done finally caught up for her. Like, do the crime, do the time. Like, you didn't want mama to go to jail, but she had to go to jail, girl. You was stealing. Now and only now is when her mother Elaine really shows up for her. Elaine has been a receptionist for a lawyer this entire time. She steps out on a limb, not worrying about how she's going to be perceived and looked at, you know, her designer sitting at her little desk. No, I need you right now. My daughter needs help. Finally recognizing that my daughter is about to be a mother and I don't want her to make the same mistakes that I did, not being there. I'm definitely not on time, but I'm here wanting to make a genuine effort to be there for her daughter in a way that she never was before. We are finally here, getting here. Only problem is our baby girl may be going to jail. It had really like low-key pissed me off that she was on some snitches get stitches. Like, they were trying to set you up by planting that necklace within your home, giving it to you so you could get caught and take the fall. And she talking about she ain't giving up no names. Girl, give up the names. Give up those names. You are with child. But we leave off kind of on a cliffhanger of what's going to be, you know, happening with Niecy's life moving forward, with her probably doing some time and becoming a mother. But through it all, she is going to have her mother to be there with her. Well, you guys, that was my review for Lift. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop down and tell me if you did and if you have ever seen this film. If you haven't, I left the link below for you guys. It is available here on YouTube, and I swear it is not anywhere else. Please make a little time to go and check this movie out. Come and leave me a comment, what you thought about it, memories that were brought back if you happen to see it. I look forward to reading everything you have to say. I see you guys next time for my next review.